Hey guys, welcome to my channel Run Free and Strong. I'm Reto. It's Wednesday, March 3rd, 2021, and it's Workout Wednesday. Today we're going to do some progression runs, and I'd like to talk to you about the what, the how, and the why of progression runs. For demo purposes, I'm going to do 2 progression runs, and I'll talk about both. So let's get going. First, we're going to cover the what, and then the how, and then the why. Before we dive in, simple disclosure, the footage we're about to see gives you an indication of the trail that I ran for these 2 progression runs. I filmed these yesterday so that I could focus on the 2 progression runs without doing the filming today. Progression runs are among my favorite workout types, so let's dive right in. Very simply put, for a progression run, we start running at a slow, easy pace and finish at a fast, hard pace. We'll talk about 2 different types of structured progression runs, thirds and fast finish. For a thirds progression run, we divide the run into 3 equal segments, either by time or by distance. For example, a 45-minute run would comprise 3 different 15-minute segments. We would run the first segment at a slow and easy pace, the second segment at our normal pace for medium runs, and the last segment at a fast pace but not all out. In other words, we would pick up the pace progressively throughout the run. For illustrative purposes, I ran 3 miles on the trails and divided my run into 3 equal segments of 1 mile each. I ran the first mile segment at a 9-minute pace, or 5:36 per kilometer, the second at an 8:30 pace, or 5:17 per kilometer, and the final mile at a 7:50 pace, or 4:52 per kilometer. Let's keep in mind that these paces work for me, and your pace should work for you. For a fast finish progression run, we would run about 75 to 90% at a comfortable pace and run the last 10 to 25% at a fast and a hard pace. Again, not all out. The heart rate during that last phase will probably be around 80 to 90% of our max heart rate. Again, for illustrative purposes, I ran 3 miles on the trails and ran the first 2 miles comfortably, averaging about a 9-minute pace per mile, or 5:36 per kilometer, and the final mile I cranked down to 7:30 mile, or about 4:40 per kilometer. Compared to the thirds progression run, the fast finish progression run involves a slightly faster pace for a shorter distance. Both of these types of progression runs can be adapted to your training. For example, I'll run 10 miles with the final 1 to 2 miles hard, or I will run a long run of 10 to 15 miles, breaking the distance into thirds and picking up the pace across the segments. Progression runs should feel like a medium and not a hard effort. If you are fatigued or need a recovery day, then you're pushing too hard. Progression runs enable us to effectively train multiple systems in a single workout. These are aerobic, musculoskeletal, biomechanical, and neuromuscular. They improve fitness without lasting fatigue, faster recovery than high-intensity workouts, and reduced injury risks. Incorporating progression runs increases the volume of faster, stamina-type training across our training cycles. Warming up the muscles and prepping the physiological pathways before increasing the workout intensity will reduce injury risk. Progression runs result in little additional fatigue compared to normal running, and therefore don't require the recovery that an intense speed session would require. Yet they allow us to satisfy our need for speed without the risk of overuse injuries. Progression runs are excellent lactate threshold workouts, training for 5Ks to marathons, as well as ultra distances to enable us to run longer and faster. In addition, they build confidence to finish strong when we start to feel the pain late in the race. And now for a side-by-side comparison of the 2 types of progression run, the thirds and the fast finish. To the left is the thirds progression run, and we can see the pace per mile decreases over time. And to the right is the fast finish progression run, and we can see that the pace for the last mile was fast. What's interesting is that both are about the same total moving time, as well as approximately the same heart rate. Hope you found this video useful and will think about incorporating progression runs into your training plan. And if you like the video, would appreciate if you give it a big thumbs up. If you're new to the channel, would really appreciate if you consider subscribing to follow my journey. And leave me a comment below. Do you guys already do progression runs? What do you think about them? Thanks very much for watching, and see you in the next one.